Hello everyone. Hello everyone. We are here. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us. I'm just going to check who's on the line. Great. Sylvester is going to join us just now. Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to be talking to Sylvester Molukwani. Sylvester Molukwani is one of the young person who spoke to me about how AI has enabled her career. And so we thought today we should talk to him and learn from him, because we've been talking about AI fluency. And now we want to know how do we use this fluency that we have gained. And so today I'm going to be talking to Sylvester, and I've just admitted him into the room, but I just want to make sure that we've got all our sound working and so on, and to make sure that everyone can hear us and see us. Sylvester, I want you to make sure that your phone is on so that your audio is good. But also that you managed your sound to ensure that everything is working well. We don't want any echoes, Sylvester. No echoes. I can hear echoes. I don't want any echoes. So manage your sound properly. All right. Everyone joining us on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us. I had to log out earlier, and I asked you to join us again, and you are back here again with us. And we appreciate that. Sylvester will come back and join us. But we are here live on YouTube with you. Remember that we are doing it live on YouTube because what we want to do is to make sure that everyone can see and hear us. Okay, we want to make sure that everyone can see and hear us, see both myself and the person that I'm interviewing at the same time. So as we go on, we appreciate your feedback. We appreciate you telling us what's working, what's not working, just technically, so that we are on the same page. And I'm going to ask Sylvester to join us. I will not introduce Sylvester because I want him to introduce himself. I think it's important that he introduces himself, he tells his story, and I will keep asking him questions as we get to know him better. Because in this session is about getting to know Sylvester's journey so that we can learn from his journey. I of course, obviously have had a conversation with him, and so I know his story. So I'm going to get him on a screen, and let's see, we've started a group meeting and Sylvester is here with me. All right, I don't know if there's anyone on YouTube. Keep giving us feedback and telling me whether you can see us, whether you can hear us. If you can't, let us know. Just write your comment that I can see Thabo is here, I can see Agnes, I can see Untlametsi, Vuyi, Kwenga Songelwa, Sarina, Ntabi saying thank you very much for joining us. I'm not sure if those are all the people, but we will not start because there's too few people on the line, because it seems as if some people are not getting us. All right, can I just ask you, Sarina, to tell us whether you can see us, whether you can hear us, and then I know that we are on the, everyone can hear us. I have welcomed Sylvester, but I'm not sure that everyone is with us and everyone can hear us, and I want to make sure that everyone who's with us can hear us. So give me your feedback. I can see more people right now. Kwenga, Dr. Dlama's academic space, Mapule, Afiba, Keta, thank you very much. And Afiba has confirmed that they can see me and hear me. I'm with Sylvester. I'm just going to get on. I can see we have 42 people on the line. Normally we start with about 100 people, but today we have 32 people, and I'm just going to get on and hope that other people will join us as we get on. You know, we introduced the what is AI fluency about, and we had different people who talked to us about AI, people who made us aware that you don't have to have a degree in data science or in mathematics or computer science to be in AI. And then we also learned about people who didn't study those fields and are executives in the AI and data science space. And we went on and partnered with the Net Campus Group, who offered us a free AI fluency course, and many of you took that course, and I've been getting feedback from many of you who are saying the course has been useful. Last week, we talked about the different aspects of the course. The week before, we talked about the different aspects. Last week, we talked about how you use them. And now this week, I thought, now that we know what's in the AI fluency course, now that we know what comes with the AI fluency course, and we know how you can use it, let's talk to people who are using it. Some of those people are professionals, some of them are executives, but I wanted to talk to an AI enthusiast, what I call an AI enthusiast. An AI enthusiast, someone who went into AI because they are interested, they learned AI by themselves because of their interest, and now they are getting the benefits of getting into the AI space. And today I have Sylvester. I'm going to ask Sylvester to introduce himself so that you know who Sylvester is. Remember, as we go along, you can ask your questions and I will answer your questions, or ask Sylvester your questions. I will read your comments so that you are aware that I can read them. And because this is a dynamic space, I want to make sure that we all benefit from it. Sylvester, can you please introduce yourself to the audience? Who is Sylvester?
Good afternoon, Patty. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. So my name is Sylvester Molokwane. I am a small business owner. I'm currently based in the township of Karangua. I am, as you said, an AI enthusiast. And I've been able to create an employment for myself using the tools of AI and integrate myself into the local business community using the tools that we're going to discuss today.
Thank you, Sylvester. But people think, wonder, what did you study? Maybe you have computer science. We're sitting here. We think you are just an enthusiast. Did you study anything in computer science? Are you a graduate? How far have you been?
Yeah. Okay. So I've not studied computer science unless, of course, maybe as a hobby. But I did study banking and finance at varsity. For some reason, I had to drop out, so I could not finish that degree. And of course, as I grew older, it became somewhat of a challenge for me because you worry a lot about your future without a formal degree.
Yeah.
But using AI, I've been able to scale whatever knowledge I had and build on it. And I think that's the power, that's the promise of AI now, that you can come with a small kernel of knowledge and it will multiply what you have. And that's especially important for us who are based in the township today. We understand the many structural impediments we have to success. But AI allows us to just puncture a way through that. And I hope we can discuss some tools and some methodologies from my own experience that other people can also use in their own journey.
Thank you very much, Sylvester. Let me give you feedback. Afiba says there's some clicking sound on your side. So if you notice what it is, you can deal with it. Otherwise, we can continue. But let me welcome also Professor Tami Butelezi from Mangosuthu University of Technology, who has joined us also on YouTube. Thank you very much, Prof. Really an honor to have you in our midst. I know that there are other professors who are also joining us, and other academics and professionals. Thank you very much, Thabo Baepi and everyone who joined us. So Sylvester, I'm glad that you explained that you had started your degree and you didn't complete it, but then you pivoted into AI. Many people sitting there, of course, are wondering, how do you do this, and how did it unfold? I want you to start, because ChatGPT was introduced in November 2022. And it seems you started your AI journey. Of course, AI has been there, but you started your journey with generative AI when ChatGPT was introduced. How did you start that journey? Can you take me from that journey? Because and also, I mean, I want people to be aware that it's not as scary as people think it is. You don't have to know coding or something like that. Can you take us through how you started that journey?
Okay. So, my journey with generative AI started with, as you said, ChatGPT 3.5 that was launched around just about the end of 2022. Well, I've always been somewhat of a science geek, so I tend to follow the developments around that field. But then, even so, because the launch of ChatGPT was such a momentous occasion that, if you recall, it became the fastest app to reach 1 million downloads at the time. So it set a record. So the interest around it got me, looking at it, playing around with it a little bit, and then I got to also go deeper than most people, because I wanted to understand what's really happening here. Thankfully, Google, Microsoft, and so on, they've got, even IBM, they had lots of fantastic courses then that you could take and earn a certificate even. But that really broke down what's going on under the hood. So that was ChatGPT 3.5, and then just
that was the first version of ChatGPT. When the version of ChatGPT came out, you are saying Google, IBM, Microsoft, many companies sort of offered courses for free for those people who were interested to know what is this and how does it work.
Yes, and many of those courses, they get updated. You can still access them today on Google Cloud Learn and Microsoft Learn also. So I just got into the groove of things and started using it. It wasn't that powerful then, but then around the end of 2023, there was the launch of ChatGPT 4.0.
Let me pause you here before you get to the next version, so that people can take notes. Because you say the courses, people can get them on Microsoft Learn, Google Learn, right? And IBM Learn.
Yes.
Do they just
Google
go on? They just go onto their computers and go and look for google.com Learn, or what do they do?
Yes, the Google Cloud Learn, and Microsoft Learn also. I'm going to also share I'll try and see if I can share the link to the Google Hustle Academy also, which I quite endorse, because I'm an alumni of the Google Hustle Academy.
Yeah,
and it's a specialized course. Yes, it's a specialized course offered to entrepreneurs, small business owners, only in South Africa, Nigeria, and Kenya. It's offered by experienced tutors, and you get a certificate, and then you become the alumni of the Google Academy, which is they connect you with entrepreneurs from around the world who will offer you mentorship and networking opportunities. So it's really great if entrepreneurs today could just know the Google Hustle Academy and check that out. I think it's a great resource. I enjoyed it because most of us, when we speak about generative AI, most people only know about ChatGPT.
But there's a lot.
There's so much more.
Yeah. Let's go systemically. Let's go systematically. Now, you got in during ChatGPT 3.5, and then the second version came in 2023.
Yes, towards the end of 2023.
At that time,
And
you had already started taking courses on Google and Microsoft and IBM and so on. So now you're getting to, at that time, you had started taking courses, yes or no?
yes, I had by that time.
Okay, now you get into next version, yeah?
Yes, yeah, but I have to emphasize that these courses I'm talking about, you can take them, of course, if you want to upskill yourself.
Aha.
And especially if you want to be certificated, so
Yes.
to speak.
Yeah.
But even if you don't take those courses, obviously I encourage people to take them, but even without those courses, you can still do a lot with AI, from just understanding
Yeah.
the basic models, the frontier models. Using ChatGPT daily, Claude 4, now there's 4.1.
Yeah,
and
let's
so on.
let's not confuse people, Sylvester. Now we are in 2023.
Okay.
The next version comes, because of course the point that you are
Yes.
making is very important. You are saying if someone needs a certificate, the certificates are available. You can do the course online. It's free of charge on Google Learn, on Google Hustle Learn, or whatever. I will put them after this session on the first comments. I will put all those links so that people can click on there and go to the site. So there are many free courses that people get, right? The advantage of
Yes.
doing the free course is that when you complete, you'll get an accredited certificate either by Google or by IBM or by Microsoft, whatever is possible. And of course, for entrepreneurs, it's a good place as well, because there are certificates for entrepreneurs, right? But your journey, Sylvester, is the one that I'm interested in, because you are an enthusiast. You moved with, as ChatGPT was growing, you kept moving with it. And in my conversations with you, you don't just use ChatGPT, you try to understand it more as you do these other courses. Now tell us, towards the end of 2023, when the second version of ChatGPT came, then what happens? Do you sit and do comparison? What's going on? Tell us.
Yes. So the world of AI is very exciting, because there's so much politics there. But the politics also refine competition. So what happens is that around that time, some executive from OpenAI, the makers of ChatGPT, left OpenAI and opened a new company called Anthropic. And then they released their model, Claude.
By the
Claude
way,
came
ladies
in
and gentlemen, Claude is another AI model that's competing with ChatGPT, for those who don't know. Go ahead, Sylvester. So it was released by someone who was in OpenAI, which launched ChatGPT. Yeah?
Yes. And then at the same time, Google, of course, was trying to catch up. Google was late to the party, surprisingly. But it tried to catch up with ChatGPT. They also released Gemini. We'll discuss the different versions that came out. And then Microsoft also had a partnership with OpenAI. So they also released their model, which were derivatives of ChatGPT. Microsoft Copilot. Most of us have heard of Copilot in Microsoft. So the landscape, as it were, became quite fascinating after that. But what the different companies tried to do with their models is they tried to refine each model to solve a specific use case. So many of them were realizing that they probably would not be industry leaders in solving every problem. So Claude, for instance, refined their models for coding. So if you want to code, for instance, you probably want to use Claude Code as your first port of call.
Let's pause.
Also,
Let's pause there because I want us to take people step by step. Because people who are joining us, not everyone is a techie. So you're saying, as the world of generative AI grows, every company tries to get a niche
yeah,
so that they get known for something. So Claude came up as a competitor to ChatGPT, and then to distinguish themselves, then they focus on coding.
yes, yes.
Okay. So which means if I want an AI model to code for me, it's better that I ask Claude. Or
Yes,
to
it's
help
better
me.
that you ask Claude.
Aha.
So at the time, the leading model that Anthropic released was called Claude 3.5.
Okay.
Yeah, so they had two versions. They had Claude Sonnet and Claude Opus. Now, another thing about one of the reasons why Anthropic broke away from OpenAI was because the founders felt that OpenAI was not what lacks when it came to safety. You know, AI is a powerful tool.
Yeah.
And it has to be aligned with humanity's needs so that it doesn't one day decide to kill us.
Yes. So it has to be ethical. So did Anthropic feel that ChatGPT OpenAI was not so ethical?
Yes.
Okay.
They felt that way. They felt that the leader of OpenAI, Sam Altman, was reckless. In fact, around 2024, the start of 2024, if you recall, Sam Altman was actually ousted from OpenAI. He was fired for about 3 days.
Yes.
And then he found his way back through some very impressive political maneuvering. But the reason why he was fired is they felt that AGI is a powerful tool that should not be left in his hands. But now the result of all of that is that Claude was refined to be a much more, we all have different aesthetic requirements, I suppose. But Claude became a very beautiful AI to communicate with, if I should say. It became just an all-round beautiful chatbot and was much more responsive to user needs, I will say. So
I have to say it still is, Sylvester. I have to say that Claude is easy to interact with, very appealing. Just even in terms of interface with ChatGPT now.
Yeah, I always say that when these models, because these people have an end goal of someday giving bodies to these things. Someday, they say you'll be having a maid in the home or a girlfriend who lives with you in the home, and I always say, I'll probably go for a Claude girlfriend.
Okay.
Now
so go on then. So that's how Claude came about. So it came about. It wanted to introduce more ethic. It wanted to be more ethical. Wanted the look and feel to be different, and it offered more support for people who want to code.
Yes.
Okay.
This is 3.5. After Claude 3.5, they released 3.7, which was not so good. But if you could pause with Claude for a bit, at the same time, ChatGPT was trying to reassert its dominance in this field. So they also released powerful models. Also, they had ChatGPT 4, and instead of going for ChatGPT 5, they played around a bit with the numbers. But the ones that stood out was 01 Pro, in fact, and then 03. The old models were good. In fact, I use one of them daily to consult for businesses. Maybe we'll also get to talk about how I consult for businesses.
Yes.
But the models, I started using 03, 01. Now here's the catch. Most of these models are not free to use, at least up until this week. They have not been free to use.
Yeah.
But I've had access to them via a platform that I'll recommend to your viewers.
Okay, this is also an important, it's an important point to pause to say to people, there's also a way to get to use these models without subscribing, you're saying, to use them to get access to them for free, and we'll share that on the comment after the show, right? So people should keep listening because we are giving important resources that people can use. Continue, Sylvester.
Yes. Yeah. So the best models were hidden behind the paywall. You have to pay some money. Now, because ChatGPT was the best at the time, they would charge as much as $200 per month to use. So, I mean, if you're unemployed, if you're in the township, you don't have a chance to use those models.
Absolutely.
So I came across, while searching through on LinkedIn, I came across this company called Outlier.ai. Now, at Outlier.ai, what they do is they recruit people to train the next generation of models.
Okay.
So as these models become better and better, they have to be trained by people. And we have to...
That's an important point to raise as well. I want you to continue with that after this, but I want to keep pausing you so that people don't miss out the point. So this is on LinkedIn, Outliers AI. Is it recruiting people from all over the world or only for Africa, from Africa?
They're recruiting people from all over the world, no matter whether you have a degree or not. If you have a degree, of course, you'll earn better rates there.
Yeah.
But what they've been looking for is people who can train these models. I mean, if you go on X now, Twitter, you'll see Grok there. South Africans especially love Grok because, you know, it's got such a wonderful personality.
Yeah.
And you can speak Tsotsital with Grok and speak Tsotsital with you. But we train these models to understand our language.
So Sylvester, was that your first job on AI? Being a trainer for these models, was that your first job on AI job?
Yes, I'll say that was it was I was looking into remote jobs. Thankfully, I got into this. I couldn't complain much about the pay rates. I mean, at the time they were paying around $25 an hour, and they would pay you weekly or so.
Wow.
You could make maybe 5,000 rands per week, depending on how much you put in. So every Friday, I would be earning something there. So I would use that as my income while building my business on the side. Okay. So that was very helpful. But the biggest advantage is that I was getting to work with AI every day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, they pay you to you just chat with the model. They say, chat with this model and tell us, give us feedback. Is this good? How should we improve? So you could be, let's say, as a Sesotho speaker. They want as a Sesotho speaker, you must chat in your language with these things, and then they pay you for that.
This is like being employed to train a little child to speak, to walk, to respond to people's questions, right?
Yes.
And then when people start using these models, they see these models responding like human beings, but actually they are trained by people like yourself, ordinary people like yourself.
Ordinary people like me, you have to teach it. You can ask questions about your locality, for instance, like if I'm in Harangu, I want to get to Joburg, which taxis do I use? It's just to tell you that, you'll get these taxis at Maravasta. They know these things because we teach them, we tell them these things.
Yeah.
And we get paid to do that.
I mean, Sylvester, this is important information because What it means is that even a young person in the village of Khabalatsani can go to Outliers, whatever, the LinkedIn page, and they will be needed because they are the only people who can teach the AI model about the roots in Khabalatsani, the way things are done, how to respond when anyone from Khabalatsani or nearby villages respond. Do you decide, when you have that job of an AI trainer, do you decide what you train it on, or do they give you sort of a framework?
No, you decide. All they do is that maybe they'll give you 7 categories like business, medical science, education, and so on.
Okay.
And then you can train it in any of those. So let's say, like they say, for argument's sake, you have to prompt them, of course. So you ask them a question like, I'm in Khabalatsani, my child is sick, I need to rush them to hospital, what do I do? So the model maybe would tell you, well, you should rush to Helen Joseph Hospital. And then you correct it and say, no, that's far. Inefficient. I would run to Odi Hospital, which is the closest.
Yes.
Now the model knows. And it becomes better and better.
Okay, that's
so
good. So
someone, you don't need specialized.
Someone is asking a question on YouTube. He's saying, Sister Teresa is saying, I should consider getting into this field and train on AI models. Afiba says, Romentia is the one who's asking. Romentia Nkwane says, do you have to know the skills of how to train the models before being recruited by Outlier AI, or you don't need any of the training skills?
You don't need specialized skills. In fact, it's very, just as you chat with ChatGPT, if you're used to chatting with ChatGPT.
Yeah.
And whatever else you need, they'll train you. And they'll even pay you from the first assessment. They'll pay you just a small sum, maybe $7.50 per hour. But they train you. Okay. After a week, you should be ready to run. Okay. And by the way, you just go into the browser, you say outlier.ai, and that's it. You'll get there. Or maybe what you can do after this, I can just give my referral link so that I'll earn a little bit when people use it. But otherwise,
I think we will do that. We will put it in the comment line. We'll put your referral link and all of that, and people can click on that. But I mean, as you were talking, Sylvester, Romentia asking this question, I thought, right now they don't need any skills. But I'm sure if a lot of people keep coming and they want to cut the number of people, they'll start saying if you have to have this experience, because maybe there'll be a lot of people who have trained AI models. So my advice is go in now. I have seen jobs advertised on LinkedIn, AI trainer, there are jobs advertised on that. It just makes you marketable. So rather than sit at home as a graduate or a dropout or a matriculant who can go into university, this is something that you can do to earn in dollars, right, Sylvester?
Yes, that's true. That's true.
So take us forward, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. By the way, you bring into the program whatever skills you have. So, like for instance, if you're a great coder, if you have a PhD in computer science, you go there, and maybe you sign up for coding. So you're going to teach them how to code. Or if you're a mathematician, then you're going to teach them mathematics, and that's how these things learn. You're going to give them mathematical problems, they solve them, you show them where they are wrong, next time they don't make a mistake. If you do have a PhD, if you do have a master's, you get to earn a lot more than someone who just comes in with maybe maybe a high school certificate or whatever. But you still get to earn something extra on the side, which is...
Sylvester, there are people who are complaining. People are happy. People are saying thank you for this very informative information. But some people, Afiba is saying on AI trainer outlier jobs, they are showing for other countries and South Africa is not listed. Can you apply if South Africa is not showing? Can you?
I'll have to check because I mean I'm South African and
Yeah.
I applied.
Okay.
So
Afiba,
I'll have to check at some point.
yeah.
You know, so much is happening with Donald Trump and his policies. So I'll have to double check. But as far as I know, these people want their AI models to be as perfect as possible. So they can't afford to exclude anyone.
Yeah. So Afiba, what we're going to do, we will check this and we will respond on the comments line. Let's keep the conversation. After this, I'm gonna put the information and Sylvester will check again and we will keep responding. I can see also Untlamet is saying outlier is not available in Botswana. We will check, and the issue that Sylvester is raising really is important because training AI models is important for any context. So you cannot afford to leave out one country, because if you do, then it means your AI model won't be able to answer questions from that particular part of the world. Whereas if you have trainers from that particular part of the world, then it gets trained on that particular part of the world. Okay, so it really doesn't make sense, but we will make sure that we check that and respond to you on the comment, on the conversation on YouTube. Afiba says, please share your referral link. We will do that. We'll share Sylvester's referral link. Twenga would appreciate the referral link. Oh, wow. Can I do it as part-time? Yes, you can do it part-time. Sylvester, explain again to Romencia, because Sylvester says, you say you did it at night. Did you do your training, AI model training work at night or throughout the day?
Well, what they do is that the outlier is there's a young man, a 24-year-old by the name of Alexander Wine, who founded it. And what he did is he contracts with all these big companies, OpenAI, XAI, and he collects the data. He gets people like me to train the models, and then he sells them to these companies. Mm-hmm. So they contract him to do the job, and as long as there are jobs, he pushes the jobs to us, and we do them. Uh-huh. So what they do is every week they release tasks that you can do. Sometimes there's a high volume, other times it's not such a big volume, but you work with what you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you could make 7,000 rand a week, other times just 2,500. I mean, at UNISA, I had a student who was studying for the same course with me, and what she would do is she would work only at night because she had only a single laptop. So her husband would take the laptop with him to work in the evening, give her the laptop, and she would work only 2 hours, 2 hours a day. And she would be able to make 2,500 rands every week. So that's an extra 10,000 rands into the household that otherwise would not have been there. And she enjoyed it. It was a very easy job. She was working in, I think, computer vision, just identifying, labeling, data labeling.
Okay.
Okay. So
yeah.
If I may go, so another benefit that I wanted to highlight with Outlier AI is that they have what they call Playground, which is where they release these powerful models and they give them to you for free. So if you're with Outlier, you get to use them for free. Now that has helped me because I could see an opportunity there to consult with businesses. I get people every day saying, would you please help me with this business plan? And these models have become very, very good. If you're using, let's say, OpenAI, ChatGPT, O3 or O3 Pro, I mean, you can just tell it and say, look, I want this kind of business plan, and it will generate something awesome for you. Detailed things. So now I'm building a reputation here as a consultant to the factories, Mokarangua, and I'm part of the collective that's reindustrializing our area. And I think that's a benefit of it. People are so afraid that AI is going to take their jobs.
Yeah. But actually, it's creating jobs for some people like yourself.
It's creating jobs for me. I mean, if a person comes to me and says, look, I need funding, will you help me get funding for this? And I sit down, open my AI assistant and draft a winning proposal for them. I know where to send it, and I'm able to raise that funding for them. They open their factory, they employ people. And this is an example, because what AI is doing really is that it's helping us to do things faster. You can know how to build an app, for instance, but an app that will take you 3 weeks, now you can do it in 10 minutes using AI.
Yeah.
It's speed of execution. And like I said, it takes your skills and multiplies them.
Okay, so I want to focus on a few questions now. I mean, when you first started with ChatGPT, Sylvester, what were the biggest challenges that you faced, and how did you overcome them? Because some people are going to start after this.
Yeah. Well, at the time, I was using it mostly for research, and as you know, it wasn't very reliable because it would hallucinate. It just invents. I mean, I recall one of my earliest chats with ChatGPT 3.5. I asked the model, who is Mamoketi Pageng? And the model says, Mamoketi Pageng is a woman from Johannesburg. She graduated from UKZN with a master's degree and so on and so on. Because I know you, I thought, man, this is crazy, But as they became better and better, they become more reliable. They're not perfect. Yet. Many of them still hallucinate. So you still have to double check what they give you. That's why it's important to empower yourself at the same time. You can't rely on them 100%.
Yeah.
Learn something, ask them to give you an output, check the output. I think one other thing that I want to say is that as I've used them more and more, I'm becoming somewhat of a professional myself. Let me give you an example. I've recently started using Linux Ubuntu operating system on my computer, which is it's geeky. Most people use either Microsoft Windows or Mac OS.
Yeah. We don't use Linux. We don't use Linux. We are not geeks. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been using it, and at the same time, I've been using VS Code to code, and using that alongside Claude. And just using it to build apps. The Claude will tell you need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I'm a bit like I'm a geek now, really a certified bona fide geek, because I'm using tools on the computer that I didn't even know. But it's because I'm engaging with these models and they're taking me by hand now and showing me everything.
Wow.
I never would have thought that at some point I'd be using my PC directly from the command line, opening files, creating files, deleting everything. It's just so beautiful. So it's making me a far better professional just by engaging with them than I would have been otherwise.
And you, Sylvester, in our conversation, you indicated that you have developed your own process for using these AI models effectively. I mean, as you say, sometimes they hallucinate, sometimes they whatever. Can you walk us through your framework of how that model, that process evolved over time?
Okay. Okay, I'll tell you the model that I use now, and then I'll tell you how I got to use it.
Yeah.
So I'll share a few tools that should be a go-to for everyone.
Yeah.
I think the first a tool in my workflow is Google LM. I mean, if you're a student, a professional, someone who has to deal with data mostly, you want to know how to use Google LM. So you just go to your browser, go open Google LM Notes. It's a note-keeping app. It's for summarizing, collating, annotating, making sense of information. So if you have big files, you just put them in there and just you can converse with your files using the tool. The tool will summarize for you.
Wow.
And then let's say for instance, I've got there's a factory that I've been working with now. I've been speaking to the professional from Productivity SA. What they're trying to do now is to help companies become more productive by using their processes in a digital platform, which is what they have not been doing before. Before everything was just manual, but now they helping companies. So I would take the large documents and information that companies have, put them in there. The model will summarize everything for me, and then if I want, I'll ask the model to create a prompt for me to get a specific output. I would then take that prompt and put it into Gemini 2.5 Pro, which is Google's best model today. Gemini, Google Pro, we use it in AI Studio. By the way, Google's products are very good right now, and most of them are free. So you don't even have to go on Outlier to use them. That's the advantage of them, that the best models are becoming free now. You still have to pay for some, but so many of them are free. So if you're using Google, you go to Google AI Studio, Gemini 2.5 Pro is your friend. I built an app. I built an app the other time. I'm just about to launch it.
Yeah.
And the way I built it is very simple. You just draft in English what you want the app to do, what its features should be, and so on. You get it into the Google LM a notebook. You ask it to create a prompt for you. That will create this app. You take the prompt into the Gemini 2.5 Pro, and the app is created for you in an instant.
So basically, we no longer have to hire people to do the apps for us. I mean, if we make time, we can be able to develop the apps ourselves.
Today, if you want, you can advertise your services as a web developer. And when someone knocks at your door in the morning, you get into Gemini 2.5 Pro, you tell them what the app should do. The app will build a website and will bill someone and make money off it.
Wow. So you were going to talk to us about your framework and your process. Is there, because you said we can go to Google and we can get the tools for free on Google, before our meeting ends in 15 minutes. I don't know if there's anything that you still want to say about the process.
Yeah, so I'll share just a few. I mean, if you have access to Claude, I love Claude. So, I mean, for coding, you go to Claude. Claude released their newest model over the last week, Claude 4.1, which is the best model for coding that I used. If you get access to Outline, you can use ChatGPT 03. ChatGPT 5 came out recently. I haven't had a chance to use it, but I hear from some people that it's good. But basically, I think another thing that I want to do is to encourage people to create communities. I don't know whether to call them communities of practice. It's so easy today to just follow people online who are always giving you information on what's going on. Twitter is the best platform I use. I mean, I also use LinkedIn, but Twitter I think is the best in terms of disseminating information. Maybe I can share a few personalities that people can follow online, on X, even on LinkedIn. Most
Even
of
on
them are there.
TikTok. Even on TikTok, there are some interesting ones. Yeah.
Yes. And then, just engage with them and become part of the community.
I think that's a very important point you are raising, Sylvester, because many people are using these tools, and some people. I mean, what we're talking about today is so that people can grow in their use of these tools. That you don't just use it and you don't know what else it can do, but to continue learning, it's better to be part of a community. But it's also important to know which community to join, because you might join a community that will just lead you astray. So what we'll do, of course, we'll share the links on where people can get the free courses. Of course, many people caught the free AI fluency course with NetCampus, but there are other free courses that people can get and get certification and become an alumni of Google. But there's also communities that people can join, and we will put that on the comment line in the on YouTube, so that people can go there to join. But we talked about the one way in which you transitioned from learning about AI and learning to use AI. You went and started being an AI trainer. You started by being an AI trainer. Is there, and sort of I gathered that was your first income generating job, was as an AI trainer. What were other jobs after that you managed to get, that where your AI skills, your AI knowledge was important, Sylvester?
Being an AI trainer was how I started making money in AI. But also, like I said, I got a small business that was running before, but that received a sort of a revival that I'm using now to consult to businesses.
Okay.
So like I said, I'm based here in Harangua, just next to the industrial center.
Yeah.
And what I do is I speak to the leaders of the industries, and they tell me their problems. There's a business, for instance, that has been experiencing cash flow problems at the same time that they want to grow. So I'm using them to assess what the bottlenecks are, trying to solve those, and then after plugging the holes, raise finance for them so that they can grow. Okay. So I'm growing as a business consultant at the same time, and that's become an additional income stream for me, and one that I think I'll build on going forward, just as a turnkey project solution bringer to local businesses. Another thing that I'm doing that I hope in time I'll ask you to help me with is just I'm looking forward to a time when we can build a hub or hubs for township-based entrepreneurs. To go there and use AI to build businesses in the township. Because what these tools have done is that they just about brought Silicon Valley in the reach of everyone. There was a time when to get a kind of talent, computing talent, to build businesses, you'd have to go, if you wanted to build Google, you'd have to go to Silicon Valley. That's where talent was concentrated. But now this concentration of talent can come home. You have it on your laptop, you have it on your cell phone now. And if you could build some kind of hub with latest computing tech, bring corporate workspaces, smart people to come together and use these tools to build things, I think we can really create much needed job creation in that township where it's needed most. And I've been quite concerned about that. How do we bring the township into this space? Okay. That's something that I'm hoping to build on.
That's fantastic.
In the future.
Sylvester, thank you so much for sharing your journey, but more importantly, sharing also the free tools, the free courses, that you have benefited from. We are going to put them in the comment line today. At the end of today, we'll also put information on groups communities that people can join to learn further. But we will continue to come to this space to talk more about how people are using AI. I think maybe as a parting point, Sylvester, one important habit that everyone should develop. I mean, every user of AI should develop to make sure that they can get better. What's the one habit that you'd say, get to do this, it's a good habit to have, it makes you function better? Quick.
Number one, understand that you don't need permission to do things. Like they say in Silicon Valley, you can just do things.
Yeah.
And so we're getting into this space of permissionless execution. So just start doing things, take risks, and then don't stop your formal learning process. If you're studying accounting, don't stop learning. Don't stop it. Combine it with AI. Let AI expand and scale what you have. Because the tools that you bring into the conversation with AI, AI will help you do most with those.
Yep. Thank you very much, Sylvester. It's really been great talking to you, and I appreciate the time. And everyone who joined us, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place. We learn together, we grow together, and we become better people. See you next week. Thanks, Sylvester.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.